I started to manifest money as soon as I shifted my frequency. Now, I've been practicing the law of attraction and manifestation for the past few years now, and I've noticed that to shift your frequency doesn't take long hours of meditation or screaming out your affirmations or scripting everything down. It only takes 3 things to not only shift your frequency to the money frequency, but to also maintain that frequency so you never go back to old frequencies and you're always attracting and manifesting money into your life. Now, before we begin this conversation, I want to be very clear that I'm going to be shifting the term frequency for feeling, because I feel like the people in the law of attraction space have made it very overwhelming and very complicating to understand what the term frequency means. When in reality, frequency just means feeling that's persisted in long enough, so as a result you shift into that frequency of the desired reality. Now, to shift your feeling, aka frequency, you first have to take care of your thoughts, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your thoughts are unconscious or conscious. Whatever you think of, even if you're not conscious of it, even if you do not plan on thinking about it, it will manifest into your reality. For example, if I came up to you and I said, you're ugly. You're not, I know you're not. And in your mind, you start to dwell on that thought. You will begin at some point looking in the mirror and you'll start to see some changes. Maybe extra acne, or your face is a little bit distorted, or you get skin disease. Whatever it is, it will manifest because you dwelled on that thought. And let me give you also a personal story of mine to understand exactly how powerful your thoughts are. In 2022, I decided to leave a job that paid me, it paid me well for 3 months, because I wanted to start my own thing. I wanted to do my own business. I saw myself as like, I know I have potential and I know I can make more money and I want to make more money. So I left that job with the hopes to start my own business and make over $10,000 every single month. Now, could you guess how long it took me to find any success? Of course, thanks to my bad thinking, it took me a long time. It actually took me 7 months. And I didn't realize and understand that it was my bad thinking that was doing all of this until I delved more into manifestation and I started to really understand how powerful a person's thought is. And also during that time, during that 7-month period, I used to track everything down in my journal, not in the hopes of scripting everything down or writing my affirmations. No, I would just track how I would be thinking and how I would be acting throughout my day, each and every single day. And as I delved more into manifestation, I would go back to my journal and go back to that time when I struggled, and then I would realize that, I think the problem wasn't the action that I was taking, it's how I perceived myself. And during that time, I'd perceive myself to not have enough critical thinking to succeed. I would perceive myself as if I only got lucky this one time when I've manifested my job, or I'll perceive myself that, listen, this is the real world, I cannot do anything on my own, I need help from my parents or close friends. That's how I perceived myself. And of course, reality gave me exactly what I was dwelling in, the frequency that I embodied, the feeling that I embodied. But then as soon as I developed the habit to just wake up every morning for 15 minutes and meditate on the idea that I am a success, and I always embody that type of feeling and frequency, and that I make so much money, is when things start to align. More people would jump on my sales calls. Sure, not everybody would close, but then eventually somebody agreed to pay me $14,000. And that was my first ever success in business. And it only occurred when I shifted my frequency from I'm a failure, I cannot succeed, to I am a success and I make so much money, and I embody that. Now, one thing you should know about thought is that although it alters your frequency, it's very easy for you to go back into old ways of thinking and old frequencies due to people, circumstances, and events. And that brings me to the second thing, is that when you start to embody the frequency of success and the feeling of success, you have to look out of where you direct your energy. There will be times when I would be doing very well in business. People would be booking calls with me, I would be closing clients and money would roll in. But then I would have a fight with a friend, or I would have a fight with my parent, or me and my brother would have a disagreement, or somebody would put my mood down. The moment I contributed to that sort of events or circumstances or situations and I gave out my energy to it, I kid you not, something bad would follow up right after. It either happened the same day or the same week, where business would run dry, clients weren't coming in, or something would happen where I would have to pay so much money to fix a problem, or for some odd reason our water pipe would just explode. Something would happen that always came after me contributing to a negative situation. And I didn't understand that this was an actual thing until one time I was reading a book called Reality Transurfing. I'm sure you've heard of it if you're into spirituality and manifestation. I'm sure you came across that book before. And as I was reading the book, there was a concept called pendulums. And there's 2 types of pendulums. There's the good type and there's the bad type. The bad type is negative people, negative circumstances, negative events, negative situations that come up. The trick is to never react to them, because the moment you react to them, you make that pendulum grow bigger that eventually it brings more of what frustrates you into your life. I thought that was a little bit woo-woo at first until I decided to be very careful of how I direct my energy. And as soon as I did that, I kid you not, I was no longer facing problems. Every time something negative came up, it would disappear as long as it did not contribute any energy to it. Because if I did, I would go to my old ways of thinking and old frequency, which I do not want. I want to stay away from the old habits, stay away from the old frequencies, and the only way to do that is by not reacting to any negative situations, not talking to any negative people, and just not reacting to anything bad that comes up. Because if you do, then you attract more of that into your life. So make sure to not only embody the feeling of success, that you are a success now and that you are making so much money now, so you shift to that frequency of money, so the law of attraction starts to bring more of what you feel into your life. But always be very careful of how you direct your energy, because if you're not, then you will always go back to the old frequencies and old ways of thinking. Now, the third main thing is to make sure you shift your mindset from I want this, I want that, to making it all about giving to other people. It's very easy to become selfish, but here's something. If you're selfish and you want everything to be about you and you want everything to work out just for the sake of you, you will always be desperate. And if you're always desperate, then you will always repel the thing that you want from coming into existence. So what I like to do to always make sure that I am in the abundant state of always giving is making sure that, let's say when running my business, how can I help the other person instead of me thinking, how much can I get from that person? And as soon as I shifted my ways of thinking from, I want this to be about me and I want to manifest money and I want my business to succeed, to I want to make sure that my business gives out the best service ever, is when I started to manifest more money into my life. Because now I'm not acting from the point of view of I am desperate and I want this, to I'm abundant and I'm giving from the state of abundance. And one thing you should know about giving is that you always get back tenfold what you give. So if you give out lack, you'll be attracting more situations into your life where you literally have nothing. If you give out desperation, then you'll be attracting more situations into your life where you're literally desperate for everything. But if you give out help and you give out blessings and if you give out support, then you will always get back that kind of support and that kind of help. And the help and the support that you'll be getting back is exactly what you're trying to attract in your life, which in your case is manifesting money. The only way I was able to manifest money into my life is by building a business that I make it all about giving help to other people, so in exchange life can reward me with what I want, which is money. And since I'm giving out from the point of view that I am already abundant, abundance will come back to me tenfold. The current business that I run, I've started it back in December of 2023, and since then I've been running the exact same business, and it's always supporting me every single day of my life. It has helped me provide for my father, my mother, put my brother in school. It has done so much for me, and it's all thanks to always being in a position where I help people and in exchange I get paid money. So what should you learn from this is that the law of attraction works in 3 ways. To shift your frequency, it only takes 3 things. 1, embody the frequency in the now and persist in it until it becomes a reality. 2, be aware of how you give out your energy. So you're always giving your energy to what actually matters most, which is embodying the frequency of money. And then 3, make it all about giving instead of receiving. Give what you want to other people and you will receive exactly what you want from life. I hope this conversation wasn't too complicating. If it was, please feel free to comment down below anything that you want me to clarify, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Again, if you also want me to talk about any certain topics in any videos, please feel free to comment them down below. I'm more than happy to answer them and make a video about them. And it would also be very great for you to just leave a sub and leave a like, and always go watch my old videos, because I promise you, I'm the only person who's not gonna sugarcoat anything, and I'm gonna give you exactly what you need so you can start using the law of attraction to manifest money into your life.